Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers.
Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review. Today we're taking a look at a huge figure. It's the Combiner Wars Devastator. Now this is the retail version. This is not the San Diego Comic-Con version. That actually looks pretty cool. It's got the chrome purple on it. Definitely cool looking figure. This is the one that, well, has been released to the mass market. I did see one of these at the Northside Toys R Us here in Indianapolis, but the box was kind of smashed. And I went back the next day. They wanted $160 for it, $159 plus tax, and it was sold. It was gone like that. And they said the closest Toys R Us that had any was actually in Fort Wayne, Indiana, about 2 hours away, and they had two of them. So I went to Big Bad Toy Store, and I got this thing shipped for, I think, around $152. So it was actually cheaper to go through Big Bad Toy Store and have it delivered to me, and the box is perfect. So that's pretty cool. Front of the package, we've got this awesome artwork of Devastator here. Comes with all 6 Constructicons. Really reminds me of the old gift set back in the day, which is really cool. Some little Transformers running around at the bottom. It says Transformers here, Generations. Comes with a collector card of Devastator, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Really nice artwork. I'm really digging it. Not really sure who that is. That kind of looks like Ironhide. And that kind of looks like Shockwave, actually. And then we got a car flipping around back here and a missile coming in. Kind of interesting. Just kind of a quick close-up. Tell me that doesn't look like Shockwave. Pretty cool. And that looks like Ironhide to me. If you know any different, tell me. I'm not sure who that is. If you know who that is, let me know. Side of the package just basically has Devastator there, and this side has nothing. The top of the box has all of the Constructicons, looking super cool. And then here is the top of the package. It's huge! In fact, it doesn't even cover, I think, about right here. It's cutting just the head off. It says it's 18 inches and 45 centimeters. This is actual height. It's got all the Constructicons here, which is really cool, and then here's a little write-up, just to kind of show you the top of the box. There is the write-up. If you want to pause and read that, you can. And then over here, here are all of the Constructicons, looking super cool. I am digging this for sure. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open. Today we're taking a look at Scrapper, the leader of the Constructicons. And as you can see, he's another earth mover, kind of a shovel type of mover. I can't remember the exact name of these type of construction equipment pieces. If you know, please tell me down in the description. Yeah, I mean, he was always one of my favorites because, well, he was the leader of the Constructicons, and he had predominantly the most screen time, I think. And I really like these head sculpt. I always thought that was pretty cool. This piece up here does move, which is cool, so we got some articulation there. I really like that. That's probably mainly for transformation, but it does work. He rolls pretty well. He's got the big knobby tires, which I really like. He rolls better when the shovel is up in the air. Now, the funny thing is the cab, when you get out of the box, is like that, which is kind of interesting. It actually doesn't look too bad running that way, but obviously, it wouldn't work if you're trying to drive this. Maybe if it spun around. I have seen construction vehicles like that, but this obviously is not that way. Again, just like Bone Crusher, this guy has got some beautiful sculpted details on him. However, he's pretty much just a big green thing. A lot of the retail figures are like that, which is G1 accurate. I do appreciate it, but there's just so much green. I just wish it was kind of broken up a little bit. Now, the San Diego Comic-Con version, I was watching Caked Up 83's review on it yesterday, and it has a lot of really nice detail, which is definitely something to go check out. I'll put a link to that right around down here somewhere if you want to go check that out. Very cool stuff. However, the one thing that he did say on his Scrapper, when he got it in Devastator mode, there was a part that chipped when he went into leg mode, which was very unfortunate. I don't know if he just had a bad QC issue or whatnot. I've talked to some of the other reviewers, and nobody else has had that issue, so unfortunately he might have just had a bad part or something. But yeah, overall, I really do dig this mode. I love the detail. The cab looks really, really nice. We got this awesome Decepticon logo up there. All the sculpted detail back here just looks super, super sick. The little diamond plate down there is nice. I like the little ladder, all that stuff. Two little ladders up there. We got the big tread, the bolts. Everything looks pretty cool. It's kind of in the back, but you know, it is a Constructicon. We got the rivets there looking cool. The hydraulics just looks super sick, super cool. The shovel looks nice. Really, really digging that. Even the detail there looks really cool. They did a phenomenal job with this guy. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. For comparison, here we've got Scrapper with the Stunticon Off-Road. As you can tell, he is a lot bigger than this guy, but Off-Road is kind of small for a truck, even a Stunticon truck. But very, very big size difference there. I don't know if it scales quite right because these things are generally pretty huge, and just by looking at the size of the cab versus the top of the truck here, I feel like this should be a lot bigger. But it's definitely bigger than what it is. Here we've got Scavenger next to the Classics Prowl. Again, a lot bigger, not quite as big as I think it should be, but it's definitely pretty cool. Here we've got Scrapper next to the 2015 Robots in Disguise Drift. Wow, those colors, the orange and the green, just two totally dynamic colors. Again, he is bigger, but not by much. These RID figures are actually pretty good sized. They don't really scale well at all, but at least he is larger than this guy. I was watching, I think it was TF fan page last night. They did a live audio on the Transformers Asylum, and one of them made a really good point of redecoing Devastator, getting a yellow version, which would be really cool, and the G2 orange version. I think that would be really nice, especially if it was like an Amazon.com exclusive. I think that would be pretty tight. And finally, here he is with a Voyager class figure. This is the Takara Year of the Snake Voyager class Optimus Prime from Transformers Prime. Again, he is a larger figure, which is cool. I do appreciate that, but the scale still is off. Alright, before we take a look at the robot mode, I just want to kind of show some things off here. Now, unlike the Bone Crusher, you can actually get some of the parts to clip onto this in vehicle mode. I watched Caked Up 83's review and discovered that the wing set here, there's a little hole that goes right there, and there are pegs on the back of Scrapper here, and you can plug those in. So I'm just going to plug that one in there, take the other wing, and we're going to plug this one in here, right here. Yeah, right there. So there it is. Fits perfect on there. Yeah, so if you want to pimp out your Earth Mover, yeah, it does fit perfectly fine. And if you need to, bulldoze some clouds up in the sky, you can definitely do that. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know, but there it is. It looks kind of neat in a weird way, right? Right? Here we have Scrapper in his robot mode, and I am really digging this guy. I think he looks phenomenal. Again, they just knock it out of the park with the G1 look on this guy. Very cool. Transformation on this guy is pretty simple. The most complicated part, I think, is up around the legs. Where you have to flip the legs down, flip the feet out, and then flip the legs back up, but not too terribly difficult. Other than that, everything else was pretty much a snap. He's got a big old dozer piece hanging off the back there, but he did in the original figure too, so that's okay. He's got some hollow leg syndrome going on in the back. But I don't really mind because, well, the robots look that way, don't they, when they're sitting on your shelf. Now, he does have limited articulation. Unfortunately, he has nothing in the waist, just like Bone Crusher. But unlike Bone Crusher, he has no elbows, which kind of stinks, and his wrists can slightly move due to transformation. He does have some rotation this way in his elbows, but he can't swing them back and forth. He doesn't have any foot articulation. He does have articulation up here at the hip, and he does have articulation at the knee. Other than that, he's pretty stationary. His head does have some rotation left and right like that, but he cannot look up and down because he's kind of got the head that mashes in and out. So yeah, overall, definitely cool. I love the head sculpt on this guy. We'll get a close-up here. The chest piece. Oh, this looks so amazing. The black and the red and the silver paint picks. We get some nice gold paint picks down here on his waist. Overall, I think they did a remarkable job with this guy. So just kind of a close-up really quick. Look at that head sculpt. I mean, that is so G1, and those giant red eyes. Definitely digging it, all the chrome detail or silver detail up there. I like how the chest is two different paint styles in designs and sculpt, with the red on one side and the silver and black. Got this nice big Autobot or Decepticon logo. The red down there and the silver. That gold looks super cool. And then, of course, he's got the silver on the legs, and then everything else is green plastic. Yeah, overall, I am digging this guy. You can, I suppose, use these as some kind of sword-type weapons, I would guess. You can plug those in like that if you want to give him some swords. Looks pretty goofy, but it is what it is sort of thing when you use the Devastator parts for weapons on these guys. Again, I wish they had guns, kind of, because I'm not going to keep them in the robot mode, and the guns would probably get lost. So I'm not too terribly disappointed because I'm not one to put them in the robot mode. For size comparison, here's Scrapper next to his buddy Bone Crusher, and they look like they're about the same height at the head. Of course, he's a little taller with his parts hanging over his shoulders there, but pretty much the same size because they're going to be a leg and an arm, so definitely cool how they match up. Here's Scrapper next to a Classics figure. This is my custom Henkai Rodimus. Here he is next to a 2015 Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Bumblebee. Here he is next to a Generations figure. This is Ironhide. Here he is next to an Alternators figure. This is Prowl. And, you know, they actually stand off pretty well next to each other. They're about the same height. Prowl might be just a fraction taller, but overall, they're actually pretty well scaled together. Here he is next to the Leader Class Megatron. Again, I like this scale with this Megatron. This Megatron's definitely going to go up next to the Devastator, I think. I really, really do like him. Of course, this has the upgrade kit on him from DX9, but definitely very cool next to each other. And finally, here he is next to a Masterpiece size figure. This is the Ultra Magnus MP10U KO figure. And again, I like how the Constructicons match up to the Masterpiece figures. You know, I think this is probably going to be the closest we're ever going to get to a Masterpiece Devastator, because it would take forever for them to come out with those as a set. So I was reading somewhere on an interview saying that the designers were like, let's just go gangbusters with this one since we're probably never going to see one, and do the best we can, and I think they've done a good job. Alright, so final thoughts on Scrapper. He's definitely a lot cooler, I think, than Bone Crusher. There are some things I like about this guy over Bone Crusher, and then things I like about Bone Crusher over this guy. Primarily with Bone Crusher, the arms. I think they did a better job on Bone Crusher with the little ball joints, so that you can give him a little bit more posability. However, that being said, I think this guy looks a lot better. His head sculpt is very G1, just like Bone Crusher's was, but I think there's so much color breakup that it looks better, even though the construction vehicle is pretty much all that lime green color. Again, that goes back to the G1 figure. So You know, if you're a G1 diehard fan, you're really going to love this figure. If you like the Combiner Wars set, you're definitely going to like the guy, I think. You know, if you like construction toys, you're going to like it. It's Devastator. What's not to like? So there he is, Scrapper from Transformers Combiner Wars. If you guys like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. What do you think of Scrapper? Do you like him? Do you not like him? Do you like the San Diego Comic-Con version versus this? Have you guys got this set? I'd love to hear your comments down below. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, sharing my videos. I really do appreciate that. And as always, look for more videos in the future.